My girlfriend broke up with me because of her coworkers. I had been with my girlfriend, Kate, for 5 years. Before that, we had been on and off for a couple of years, trying to figure things out. She was my first for a lot of things. We went to each other's prom, danced at school events, and helped each other through some tough times. I always felt like she was out of my league, but I did everything I could to make her feel safe and loved. I wanted a future with her. When I went to college, I worked hard and earned a double major. Kate chose a different path and went to cosmetology school. We had been planning to move in together in a few months. We had conversations about getting married and starting a family. It felt like we were building something real. Then, over the last couple of months, she started making comments that made me uneasy. She would say things like, "My coworkers keep asking why I am with you," or "Coworker name thinks you are not in my league, and they want me to come out with them and meet new people." Each time I asked Kate what she thought about those comments, she would tell me that she loved me and ignored them. She said she told them to stop. But the comments never stopped. We had always been good at communicating. We talked through things, and we had never faced any major problems. Sure, we argued sometimes about movies, television shows, food, little things like that. But we never hid anything from each other. This all started after she got a job at a salon. She worked only with women. I never doubted her. She was not the type to cheat, and she had never given me a reason to think otherwise. She was always honest with me. No emotional affairs, no hiding where she was, no secret social media. A few nights ago, we had a great date. We laughed, talked, and everything felt normal. I dropped her off at her place, and just as she was about to leave the car, she turned to me and said she was having doubts about our relationship. Then, she said she wanted to break up. I was shocked. I did not know what to say. I just stood there for a moment, trying to process what had just happened. Then, I slowly walked away. I knew exactly what had caused this. Her coworkers had spent months planting insecurities in her head. They had pushed her to leave me, and in that moment, she gave in. I knew this for sure because a few hours later, she sent me a message saying as much. Not even 4 hours after breaking up with me, she started calling and texting. She said she was sorry. She said she did not mean it. She told me she loved me, that she had been stupid to listen to her new friends. She promised she would quit her job, cut them off, and find a different place to work. I have not answered her. I do not know how to respond. I love her, but everything feels different now. I had a ring being made for her. I had saved up money for a house, for a life together. We share most of our friend group, about 85% of the people we know. The rest are coworkers from our jobs. Now, our shared friends know about the breakup, and they are just as confused as I am. Some of them have messaged me, and from what I can tell, Kate has told them the truth. She admitted that her coworkers filled her head with doubts, and she let it happen. Her parents reached out to me, too. They asked what had happened. We have always been close, but I have not responded. I have kept quiet. Luckily, I can work remotely. Yesterday, I left my apartment with my laptop, found a quiet place with good internet, and focused on my job. But I still feel lost. I do not know what I did wrong. I do not know how to feel. I need advice. Quick update. After I posted about this, my boss sent me an urgent message asking if we could do a video call. I agreed. When the screen loaded, I saw 2 police officers standing behind him. Someone I do not know who had called the police and asked them to do a wellness check on me. They had gone to my apartment, but I was not there. Then, they went to my workplace, but I was not there either. My boss knew I was working remotely and called me. I had to explain that I was fine, just keeping my phone off because of personal issues. I am also supposed to go to Kate's parents' house tonight. Update number 2. We did not have the meeting last night. I postponed it until tonight, Friday. Life has a way of hitting you when you are already down. As I was going through my missed calls, I got a voicemail telling me that the ring I had ordered was ready for pickup. I also want to apologize for any mistakes in my writing. My mind has not been in the right place these last few days. I will probably update tomorrow or Sunday. February 25, 2023, update. Kate and I were together for years, and in one night, she left me because of her work friends. They made her believe I was not good enough, that she was too good for me. The last few days have been exhausting. On Friday, I went through my missed messages and calls. I had 61 missed calls, 14 voicemails, and over 400 text messages. 4 of those calls were from the police. I sent out a general message to those who had reached out, letting them know that I was safe and needed time to process things. Then, I went and picked up the ring. It had already been paid for, so I took it home and placed it in the special box I had made for it. That night, I went to her parents' house. As soon as I pulled into the driveway, Kate ran outside. She looked like she had been crying for hours. She hugged me. I let her, but I did not hug her the way I usually would. Then, she tried to kiss me. I turned my head and stepped back. We went inside and sat down. For 10 minutes, neither of us said a word. Then, she started crying again. She told me she was sorry. I just said, okay. I asked her what she had told people. She said she had told them the truth. I asked her why the police had been sent to check on me. She said she had not called them. After our mutual friends found out about the breakup, they kept trying to reach me. When no one heard from me for over 24 hours, they got worried and called the police. She said that when I walked away that night, I looked catatonic. I had a lot of questions, and I asked every single one of them. Why did you break up with me? She gave me a vague answer. Something about her coworkers talking badly about me and making her feel insecure. Why did you let that happen? Why did you not set boundaries? She said she tried, but every time she told them to stop, they would just start again the next day. Do you see value in me? In our relationship? She looked down and shook her head. She said she did not know anymore. Why would you throw everything away because of what strangers said? She just said she was sorry. She admitted it was a stupid mistake. Do you believe they were right? She immediately said no. Then why did you listen to them? She said she did not know. I kept asking until I got to the most important question. Was there someone else? She said no. She swore she had never cheated, never even been tempted. She even offered me her phone to check, but I did not take it. I looked at her and told her how I felt. Sorry is not enough. I told her I could not return the ring, so I had no clue what to do with it. Maybe after 3 months, if things still were not looking any better, I would just hand it over to her and walk away for good. She told me most of our shared friends had either cut her off completely or told her exactly what they thought of her. Her parents were furious. Even her little sister had not spoken to her since that night. I just sighed and said, that is what happens when you make choices. Then, I wished her well. I turned to her parents, thanked them for everything they had done for me over the years, and gave them a hug. Before I left, I knocked on her little sister's door. I had known that kid since she was born. I told her thanks, gave her a hug, and then walked out of that house for what I thought would be the last time. I still have 4 months left on my lease, but I do not see myself staying here once it is up. Tonight, I am spending time with an old friend, Mr. Johnny Walker. Just tonight. Tomorrow, I will get back to figuring out my life. Not sure if there will be another update after this. February 28, 2023, tonight was supposed to be the night. I do not even know if anyone will see this, but if things had gone the way they were supposed to, I would have asked Kate to marry me tonight. Our first date was on Leap Day. I had planned for us to get married on Leap Day next year. 2 months later, the final update. Hey everyone. A lot of people have been checking in, asking how I am doing, so here is an update. First off, I just want to say thank you to everyone who sent messages of support. And to the people who decided to be negative, well, I hope you stub your toe real bad at 3 in the morning. This might be my last time talking about this, so I will try to keep things in order. After my last update, I focused on getting my life back together. I had barely any contact with Kate, at least, until a week ago. But I will get to that part later. I did exactly what I told myself I would do. I took time to think. I went to therapy, been seeing the same therapist for a while now, and I stayed close to the people who actually cared about me. It helped. Kate was no longer on my mind every second of the day. Sure, there were still moments when it hit me, but I was moving forward. I also buried myself in work for a while. My therapist called me out on that and told me it was not a good idea, so I scaled back. From what I have heard, Kate started seeing a therapist, too. She quit her job and made sure she could never go back. She burned every bridge between her and those so-called friends who got in her head. She took a job in a completely different field and is planning to go back to school next spring. She asked some of our mutual friends how I was doing. The ones who still talked to her just told her, he is doing fine. A few weeks after the breakup, I actually ran into her. For a second, my heart jumped. But then I really looked at her. She was not the same. She looked like she had been carrying the weight of the world. She was out with some friends, but even from across the room, I could tell the smiles were fake. The laughter was forced. She did not notice me. And to be honest, seeing her like that did not make me feel a damn thing. I still have the ring. It is tucked away somewhere safe. I ended up modifying the proposal box and gave it to a friend who wanted to use it. Someone suggested I sell the ring, but I could not bring myself to do it. I was finally in a good place. I had no intention of seeing Kate again. But life had other ideas. I saw her in person twice. The first time was at her little sister's school play. I made a pinky promise to be there, and you do not break a pinky promise. The second time was at a mutual friend's birthday party. We said a few polite words, but that was it. Then, about a week ago, everything changed. I do not remember much of that day, but here is what my friends told me. For about a month, I had been getting headaches. The pain always started behind my eye, sometimes bad enough to make my vision blur. I figured it was just stress from everything I had been through. So, I ignored it. Then, one day, I was out with 2 of my friends. We were just walking, talking, browsing through shops. I felt a little off, but nothing too serious. And then, out of nowhere, my legs just stopped working right. I lost my balance, slowed down, and almost fell straight to the ground. My friend caught me just in time. And then, I had a seizure. It lasted about a minute. Somebody called an ambulance, and I was rushed to the hospital. They ran some tests. And that is when I found out I have a brain tumor. They called it a glioma. The doctors think they can remove it, but we are waiting on a second opinion. I am still in the hospital, waiting to find out when the surgery will be. My friends called everyone, including Kate and her family. She came with them. And when I woke up and heard the news, she was the first person I thought of. Over the past week, we have had some long talks. Right now, she is the only visitor I am allowed. She is here now, asleep in one of those awful hospital chairs. I do not know what this means for us. I still care about her. I still love her. For now, I have decided not to renew my lease. Her family has offered to help take care of me if things go well. After a lot of thought, I accepted. I will not be able to drive for a while. And honestly, I am scared. But I have people around me who care. Just in case things go south, I have made sure everything is in order. If you are still reading this, do me a favor, tell the people in your life that you love them. Hug them while you can. Because you never know when everything might change. Mini update. I am being transferred to a better hospital. One of the best surgeons in the area will be handling the operation. If everything goes according to plan, my surgery will be on Tuesday. These past few days have been rough. The tumor has been causing more problems, and the side effects are getting worse. I feel like I am losing control of my own body. I cannot do anything without help. The only thing keeping me from losing it is my friends checking in on me. Kate's little sister made me promise I would be okay. I do not want to break that promise. Update from Kate, he made it through surgery. Hey, this is Kate. I am not sure if I am doing this right, but I just wanted to let everyone know he made it. The doctors think they got most, if not all, of the tumor. The surgery lasted over 8 hours. There were some complications, but they pulled him through. He is stable but will stay in intensive care for now. Please, keep him in your thoughts, prayers, or whatever you believe in. I love this man more than anything. I know I hurt him, and I know I was selfish. But I will spend every day proving how much I love him. To most of you, he is just a stranger. But to me, he is everything. Thank you.